Are you somebody who is new to hunting with dogs and you're really trying to figure out, should I get into this sport or not? Well, I want to share some of the brutal truths that I've learned over my 10 years of hunting with dogs. Some of them may scare you, some of them may not, but at least I want you aware of what you're getting yourself into. So here are the 5 brutal truths of having hunting dogs. Here, I'm your host, Stevie Thomas with Ballin' Out Kennels, where we help new and beginning handlers create, explore, and perfect the art of hunting dog training through stories, tips, and techniques, and that proper mindset to get you started on the right track. So here we go. Man, I'm sure you've seen the title. And this is really something that I think about often. And I realize it's not talked about a lot. And what I mean by that is basically the brutal truths of what it's like really having hunting dogs, working with hunting dogs, hunting with hunting dogs. It's rarely ever really talked about. And there's so many different avenues that can go into this talk. But there's a few of them that really, have stuck out in my mind. Again, you as a new and beginning handler, that's my focus. That is who I'm really here to help. That's where a lot of, the Ballin' Out Kennels information content is focused on. And I hope that other people who are veterans in the game can get some enjoyment out of it. If not, pass it on to somebody else who may be coming up behind them. Just giving the new people a place to go to just get some information. That way, when you're out there, you don't feel completely in the dark. That is my main focus. I've done a lot of, mentorship with the youth, and they ask amazing questions, and it really tuned me on to like, hey, there's a group of people who want to know about hunting with dogs, but maybe not have ever experienced it. So I want to talk about the brutal truths, though. Now, this isn't meant to scare anybody away, especially you being new. It's not meant to scare you away, but what I do want to make sure that you kind of get a picture of what you're in for, so you can make the best decision for you. Make the best decision for your situation. Maybe you're not quite set up the way you want to be, but you want a hunting dog really, really bad. Maybe some of these things will help you pump the brakes just a little bit until you're better equipped or better in a position to take on some of the things that comes with having a hunting dog. Yes, some of this can vary depending on which breed you go with. Obviously, over here, we really talk about hunting beagles. We talk about tree dogs. I love my American leopard curs, leopard hounds, depending on who you ask. I love those dogs. That's my tree dog of choice. I'm very biased on that. Not that there isn't other good dogs out there. There absolutely is, but this is just my choice. I love me a leopard dog. And then we talking about bird dogs to where I'm just really learning. I'm just getting my feet wet with bird dogs. So a lot of the stuff that I talk about there, I've taken from, other people, my mentors, and just some stuff I've learned just going out there and trying it. So you guys are learning with me as I'm learning more about bird dogs. But again, these brutal truths, they're really not, I'm not trying to scare anybody away with it, but I want you to understand what comes with this sport so many of us love. And if you hear this list and I go through some of this stuff and you're like, oh, that wasn't so bad. Boom. Hey, we're looking for you. Maybe it's your time to shine. And if on the flip side, you hear some of this stuff, you're like, oh man, I didn't ever even thought about that. Maybe I need to take a step back and wait a little bit longer before I get my own dog. I hope you're enjoying the episode, but did you know people are becoming more interested in rabbit hunting with beagles, but might not know how to start? Don't worry, I got your back. I wrote a book called Producing a Future Rabbit Dog. In this book, I talk about proven concepts, tips, and techniques that I've been using for the last 10 years on all my rabbit dogs. If you're looking for easy to follow information and a guide to get you started on the right track, Go to ballinoutkennels.com and grab your copy. That's Ballin' Out Kennels, BAWLINOUT Kennels.com. Your future rabbit dog awaits. Let's get back to the episode. That's a benefit too. What it would allow you to do is basically be able to go with someone else who has dogs. Really find what you like in a dog. Go hunt with a variety of dogs. Join some Facebook groups. So people in your area, go to the local clubs, local hunts, and get an idea of what kind of dogs are out there. So don't take that little extra time as a bad thing. It could be a very good thing. So one of the first brutal truths I really, a truth that a lot of people should hear, especially being new, is that most dogs don't make it. A decent amount of dogs, they just do not make it. Now, there could be a variety of reasons for that. And sometimes it's even outside of the genetics. There's a lot of people who, want to talk about, hey, I'm going to take the best dog here, the best dog there. I'm going to breed them together and I'm going to get the best. Now, that is one way to look at it. That is one way to approach it. And there has been a degree of success for some people doing that. But some of the people have mentored me and people I've talked to, sometimes that approach is not always how it works. We would all love it to work that way. And there's some of these people have been in dogs way longer than I have, so I respect what they're telling me. But sometimes the breeding the best of the best doesn't always produce the best. For whatever reason, it just doesn't. Now, you may have one or two rock stars, let's say out of a litter of, 8. You may have 2 rock stars that just have it. From day one, they had it. And then some of the other dogs, they just don't. They're very slow to it. They just don't grab a hold to it. A lot of those genetics maybe were pumped into just those 2 dogs. But sometimes the others in that litter, for whatever reason, is just, they don't turn out. Now, I'm not saying that you shouldn't go still breed the best to the best. But what I am saying is make sure you're doing your research. If you're taking the best of the best, making sure that those best dogs are out of reproducing best dogs. That will up your odds of getting the best. I don't think any of us are going to make a cross or shouldn't be making a cross to try to get mediocre dogs. Hey, we want the best. But the first person who really figures out how these genetics actually work, they are going to be a very, very wealthy person. Very wealthy person. Yes, if you do some research, there are absolutely handlers out there, breeders out there who have gotten fairly close or got it dialed in to some degree with their family breeding or line breeding, however you want to name it. They've gotten really good at figuring out, hey, if I cross this to this, I'm likely going to get a higher ratio of pups turning out in this litter. But to go along with that, the brutal truth is, it doesn't matter where you get that dog from. If you do not put the time it takes to making that dog something, giving them the best opportunity, as many opportunities, until you for sure 100% realize that, hey, this dog just doesn't have it. You could potentially have the best, but if you never take them to the woods, you never put them in the brush, you never take them out to the grass and get them pointing, you would never know that. A brutal truth is you got to put time into it. It's going to take time. And I'm not no different than you where I've heard, I want a natural dog. Man, we all want natural dogs. But the likelihood of that actually happening is fairly small. But you can pull out all the traits of a natural dog in a dog that just needs a little bit more time. They just need to be shown what you want them to do and a little bit of how to do it. And they're smart enough to figure it out from there. Those dogs you can work with. Those dogs you can turn into something excellent. That may not have been just a natural starting, natural running dog. But another brutal truth is we as handlers, a lot of times, we ruin more dogs than the genetics of the dog. And I'm no different from you, where I've done it too, to where you just don't know. You're trying things, you're doing things, and you're looking at how other people are working the dogs, and you're trying to, replicate that. But what you don't may not see, and it's not on social media, it's not on video. This dog may have certain traits that he's showing that handler to let them know that, hey, I'm ready for the next step. Hey, I'm ready to see a game in the cage. Hey, I'm ready to go out with the big dogs. Hey, I'm ready to X, Y, and Z. We don't always see the back end part of it, that pup is showing the handler, hey, I'm ready. I'm ready for the next step, whatever it is. And this dog may be young, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 months old, depending on the breed and type of dog. Those ranges vary. So you start trying to do the things with your puppy as you're seeing someone else do, and your dog may not be at that same level at that point in time. So we're just doing stuff too early, not paying attention to how the dog operates. Sometimes we give up too soon. If a dog is not doing what we think they should be doing by 6 months old, oh, he's out. He's not good. He's gone. Again, that is fine if that's how a person operates, but you being new, just some things to keep in the back of your mind. Sometimes those dogs, they're showing you things along the way, unless you haven't put any time into prepping them for those next steps. They're showing you things along the way to let you know, hey, I do have a little bit of skills. Hey, my nose does work. Hey, I am eager to treat. Hey, I'm not scary. I'm not timid. You can work on all those things before ever taking a dog to the woods. But a lot of us handlers, we ruin dogs before they even really get a chance. It's not always the genetics that's causing the dog not to start. Maybe you're too heavy handed. Some dogs have, feelings too. I know some people may not may not like hearing that, but some dogs do. Some dogs you can't get heavy handed on, they'll shut down on you. And other dogs you can get pretty rough with them and they respond better to that. That's what you as a new and beginning handler is truly paying attention to what type of dog you have. As puppies, if you're paying close attention, they will show you these things. They'll show you those characteristics. If you raise your voice a little bit, does the dog cower down? Does he do, without even putting your hands on him or any of that sort of stuff? How does the dog reacting? That can give you an idea. Okay, I might not be able to be as heavy handed with this dog. Trying to develop what that dog needs and not just training them the way you want to train. Again, there's nothing wrong with having your system, having the way that you do it and knowing, hey, this is what I like, this is what I'm looking for. Perfect. That I will never say, hey, the way I do it is the way to do it. You will never hear those words come out of my mouth. But sometimes we have to tailor the way that we train to the dog and still be able to pull out those great traits and abilities that this dog has. You're the coach. Football is getting underway, high school, college, NFL. The coaches are huge. You can't coach every player the same. I played sports my whole life, played football in college. You can't coach every player the same. Some players respond really well to calling them out, getting in their face. Hey, you missed your assignment. You missed that block. You need to hit this hole. Whatever. They respond better to that. You missed the read. All those things. And some do not. Some just don't. But you have to figure out, how is my dog going to respond? How is this person going to respond to how I need to get this information and this point across to them? Again, giving up too soon, starting them a little bit too soon. Again, a lot of us ruin them before they even get a legit chance, and then we give up. Another brutal truth is this crap is expensive. It can be. It can be very expensive. You're talking about food. You're talking about vet bills. Man, you talk about the time that it takes. The fuel, driving back, the mileage, driving back and forth. Not with most of these dogs, depending on where you live. If you live in the city, there's, may have to watch some of that. I'd have